Hello, and welcome to the Empowerography Podcast. This is a platform created for women's voices to be heard and a place to share their stories, journeys, and successes with the world for the purpose of helping other women who might be on similar journeys. We are empowering women one episode at a time. I'm your host, Brad Walsh, so kick back, grab one of your favorite beverages, and enjoy the stories. Jewelry that makes an impact on your self-care routine and your style, Empowerography would love to offer you a discount code to one of our exclusive partners, Quartz and Canary Jewelry and Wellness Company. Please use code EMPOWER15 to receive 15% off upon checkout at www.quartzandcanary.com. Quartz and Canary is truly the place where spirituality meets style. Hello there, Brad Walsh here, your host of the Empowerography Podcast. Today, my guest is Mona Andrei. She is an author, communication specialist, and a speaker based in Montreal. How you doing today, Mona?
Hi.
Hang on, let's do that again. Hold on, sorry. Hello there, Brad Walsh here, your host of the Empowerography Podcast. Today, my guest is Mona Andrei. She is an author, communication specialist, and speaker based in Montreal. How you doing today, Mona?
Hi, I'm good. How are you doing?
I'm doing very well. Thank you so much for taking the time to be here today and share a bit about your story and your journey with us and be part of the Empowerography community. I appreciate that.
It's my pleasure, truly.
So, Mona, you are an author, a blogger, a speaker, a copywriter, a ghostwriter, and last but certainly not least, a mother. How do you fit all of that stuff into a day?
Well, everything has to do with words. And first off, my kids they're young adults now. So there's a little less laundry and a little less cooking to do. But I work from home, as a lot of people do now. But for me, that means that I get to plan my day around my energy levels. So I know when I should be creating. I know when I should be strategizing.
Okay.
I know when I should be folding towels.
How long have you been writing?
Since forever and a day, but I'm going to say 1992 is the year that I quote unquote became a real writer, because that's the year that a magazine actually paid me for my writing, for an article that I wrote.
What is it that inspires and excites you the most about writing?
Connecting with readers. Honestly, whether it's through writing humor or marketing collateral, I love putting into words what other people either need to know, feel they need to know, want to hear.
Okay.
That's a big thing for me.
Now, I know all authors have their processes when writing, their creative process. Can you walk us through your process when you sit down to write?
Sure. So I need to have a vision. I need to know what I want to write. I need to see it, feel it in my mind. Actually, a good example is I'm on the back burner, or I guess a personal project, whatever, is I'm writing a story about a serial killer. And it's told through multiple points of view, so including the killer. So even though I'm known as a memoir and personal essays writer, I think it's important to say that I'm not a serial killer. And a family member,
put that out there right now. Let's just set the record straight.
So I'm not. And recently, a family
Mona
member
is not a serial killer. Yes. Folks.
Big neon lights on that one. But seriously, a family member read it, or part of it, recently, and she was like, "Oh my God, I can't believe I know someone who thinks this way." It's a matter of observing, I think, and having empathy. So having empathy for what you want to say. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Yep. Okay. Now, you help people also get their stories written and put out there. Why did you decide to take that on and help other people tell their stories?
Everybody has a story, but not everybody's a writer. So once upon a long time ago, I had this job for a company where I was there. They had an in-house magazine. Okay. And I was the one who interviewed people and wrote their stories. And that's when I discovered that I guess I was good at spinning a tale. But not everybody has an inclination to write it. But everybody, again, has a story, has a message to share. I just have this way of getting into the heart of the matter.
People's heads.
Yes. Yeah. People's heads. And
like a serial killer.
Oh, you want to let that one go?
No, I just had to. The opportunity was there. I had to use it.
I love it.
Okay. Now, how did you get into ghostwriting, and how long have you been a ghostwriter?
I guess for a long time, because I wrote a book called Leave Nothing to Chance for 2 industry leaders.
Okay.
So that's where that started. But before that, I would write for, the president of a company needed a speech, or needed to write, an article, whatever. So that's where it started.
Okay.
But yeah.
Do you enjoy ghostwriting?
I do. Actually, I do. I love getting inside of people's heads and understanding them.
But not having your name on it, though. I mean, does that bother you?
No, not at all. Because sometimes it is, like for Leave Nothing to Chance, for example, it's by, John Solitaire, Foster Owusu, as told to Mona Andrei. So in other cases, it's not my story to tell. I'm just helping them put the words to it. Okay.
Now, you're listed as a top 100 humor blogger. How did you garner that title?
That came as a surprise to me. There was this one day where I was particularly busy. I was working against a deadline, and I was seeing all the email notifications coming in, but I was like, nope, can't do it. Got to, 2 o'clock, got to finish this by 2 o'clock. And then after that, I was going through my inbox, and there was this email from a magazine editor that honestly I'd never heard of. And she was like, I love your blog. I just wanted to let you know that I'm adding you to this year's top 100 humor blogs list. And I was blown away. So it came as a surprise. Yeah. And here I thought at the time that my mother was the only one reading my blog.
Well, that's been disproven. So then focus is obviously a very, very focus and discipline is a huge part of your writing process as well then, because as you just said, you saw the email notifications coming in, but you had to stay focused and finish until 2 o'clock like you'd set out.
Yep. And it depends too, because sometimes, so focus, yes, like you have to let a project consume you, right? And when you're in the thick of it, but sometimes walking to the sink to get, a glass of water, you're still thinking, you're still processing.
Yeah.
Right?
Have you always had that discipline and focus as a writer, or did that take time to nurture and build that skill?
I'm still nurturing and building that skill. Yeah. Discipline is that's why we have deadlines, I think, because otherwise it'd be like, oh, I'll work on this tomorrow.
Is humor a common thread in your writing?
I'm going to say yes, except that I also write reflective pieces and serious pieces, even sad pieces.
Okay.
But I write the way that I speak and the way that my brain works, and humor is a big part of that.
Okay. Where do you pull your inspiration from when you're writing?
People, life events, conversations, my dog.
Your dog?
Everywhere. I see it everywhere. Things that people say to me, things that I overhear. I always feel that if I'm asking something or thinking about something or wondering about something, other people are too. And I believe that we're here to serve others. So if it's going to help me, it's going to help someone else.
Okay. Now, you've recently written a book titled Superwoman, a funny, reflective look at single motherhood. This is being released on March 8th, which so happens to be International Women's Day. Was this release date chosen intentionally? And if so, why?
Intentionally, yes and no. I was asked to speak at an event for International Women's Day. And when I told my publisher, she was like, oh, let's move up the date because it was supposed to be released in April. And when you think about it, it's really perfect because it's about struggling through the obstacles of single motherhood, right? So regardless of what your day job is, that in itself is an important achievement. There are so many single mothers out there that have no support. And we all know it takes a village to raise children.
Yes.
So, and a lot of them don't have that village, right?
Yeah. That date couldn't be chosen any better. That works out perfectly.
Yeah, for sure.
What was the inspiration behind the book?
My life. So when I was a young single mother, I felt alone. I forgot who I was. I was consumed by surviving because I didn't have support from my kid's father.
Right.
So the book was my way of reaching out to other single mothers and reminding them that they're not alone, that, you know, don't forget who you are.
Well, I think that happens a lot for women in terms of, you know, they have the role of a wife, some of them, not all. They have the role of mother. They have the role of entrepreneur or career woman and so on. And it goes on and on and on. And women, unfortunately, become defined by these roles. And that's where the change needs to happen, is women need to break out of being defined by those roles.
Yep, absolutely. Even I have women that are mothers but not single. They have they're with their husbands, whatever.
Yeah.
And they say that they're reading the book and they're nodding their heads. They get it. So You're right, to your point, the role often falls onto, you know, like the nurturing roles.
Yes, for sure. Well, women are natural nurturers, right? That's how women are raised. And I mean, and the boys, of course, are raised to be these big macho, you know, boys don't show emotion, and boys don't do this and boys don't do that.
But
all of that shit needs to change. Yeah, it is, for sure.
It's in our genetic memory, because once upon a long time ago, the men went out to hunt to bring home the food, and, you know, so.
But that's not to say that stuff can't change. It needs to, I think.
I think so too. But it is. I look at young single, or not single, but young families now, and I'm seeing fathers are much more involved than they were.
Which is great.
Decades ago, yeah. Oh, yeah, for sure.
What are some of your favorite types of books to read?
I don't have a specific genre. I love reading authors that have a strong voice or a quirky perspective. So it depends. Do I want, you know, on my mood and my day, do I want to read something light? Do I want to read something that's going to make me think?
Yeah.
So I like Anne Lamott, Stephen King, David Sedaris. I like so many authors.
What is one of the toughest things about writing for you?
Reining myself in.
Explain.
So people say that they write for themselves, but I don't. I write for others. So whether it's to bring readers on a journey or help them understand something that they need to know that will help them in their own lives. And because I feel so deeply and I think so quirkily, sometimes I have to be like, okay, is someone else going to get this? Or is this, you know, did I bring it too far to the edge type of thing?
But isn't that good though, to bring it to the edge?
Yeah, it is. But there's an edge, and then there's an edge.
And Mona's going with the edge.
Yeah. That's where I have to be careful.
So I'm going to go back to the serial killer thing. How did this idea for this book come to fruition? Like, why did you decide to do this, and where did the idea come from?
I'm fascinated and petrified of serial killers.
Okay.
So the way that their mind works and the way that they don't have empathy, I'm, you know, like Criminal Minds and shows like that, which I don't watch anymore because then I can't sleep, but trying to get into their minds and understand how they think, and how, again, that they're on a side of the way that normal, quote unquote, people are. They're on the flip other side, right? Like Ted Bundy.
Polar opposite,
yeah. Because we live to please or to serve others, whereas they're living for their own, you know, weirdness, I guess.
Now, the research part of that, did you do a lot of research before you started? I did, yes.
I did years ago.
Okay.
And it got to the point where I could not sleep. I had a cat at the time. My cat would walk by me, and usually cats are really quiet, and I would get startled. So I had to stop that. And even when I'm writing this book, I have to, okay, who's going to be home tonight? Sleeping in the house, because I can't work on this if I'm by myself.
Were there any particular serial killers that you leaned on in terms of research solely for this?
Nope. The weirder, the better.
Mm-hmm.
Jeffrey Dahmer comes to mind.
Mm-hmm.
There was something that I watched quite recently on Netflix. I think it was called something like "Don't Kill Cats" or "Don't."
Oh yes, the Canadian boy.
Yeah, which I thought was really interesting.
Mm-hmm.
So there's no one particular.
Okay. What advice would you give someone wanting to pursue a career as a writer?
Read a lot, write a lot. I can compare. So writing is a craft, right?
Right.
If you want to compare it to dancing, it looks easy, but it takes a lot of practice to make it look easy.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
And then you have to own it. So you practice a certain move, and then you get the move, like the technicality, the technical aspects of it, but then you need to own it. Then you need to put your own style into it.
Right. What are some common traps that aspiring writers experience?
Thinking it's easy. Thinking that their first draft is crap, which in truth, the first draft is crap. Every first draft is crap. Mm-hmm. So I think that they think that it should just come out really, genius the first time. Not even, I'm going to say, I don't know Stephen King personally, but I'm going to say that his first drafts are crap too. That's just what writing is. Sorry, Stephen.
even after years of experience as a writer, there's still shit your first draft?
Oh, for sure. Sure. Especially if you don't feel like the muse is there, but you need to get a chapter done or whatever, you have to force it out. But when you're forcing it out, you're not looking at a blank page anymore. So now you can go back, because often it's the blank page that scares someone. Mm-hmm. So now you can go back with, a bunch of crap words on the screen and put some definition into it.
So what happens when you feel like you're forcing the words out? Do you walk away and take a break? Do you leave it for a bit, or?
I read.
Yeah.
I read. If I'm having trouble with something, I go and I get inspired by what someone else writes.
Doesn't that ever bleed into what you're doing, though? In your own projects, like reading and reading other people's words and stories? Does that ever bleed into your work? No,
it doesn't. No, I used to be afraid of that. I used to be afraid that it would, I'd be copying someone else's voice. Yes. But it doesn't, because perhaps, I'm going to say a first line is inspired by a certain voice. So you write that line like that. But then as you start channeling your own stuff, your own thoughts, your own voice, and when you rewrite it, you're going to go, oh, that doesn't sound like me at all.
Right.
So draft 2, draft 3 fixes that.
Okay. To date, what would you say is your biggest high or your greatest win?
I'm going to say my relationship with my kids, specifically my eldest daughter. We went through a few rough years where we didn't understand each other. Mm-hmm. And today she's my best friend.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I love that. I love that I said that. I just gave myself goosebumps.
That's good. Goosebumps are good.
Yeah.
What do you think your unique skill set or superpower is that's helped you become successful?
I'm going to say humor and honesty, because I consider myself a positive person, but I'm not Pollyanna, and I'm not afraid to say it.
Positive Pollyanna?
Yeah, exactly. So I'm not afraid to say that something is hard or that I sucked in a particular situation. Right. I think that people appreciate that.
Brutal honesty is always good.
Yep.
Well, I shouldn't say always good. I guess it depends on the situation, because some people don't like to hear honesty, right?
Well, it depends. If you're going to tell somebody that, you shouldn't be wearing that tweed jacket with those running shoes, they're not going to like hearing that. But if you're going to say, I should not have worn the tweed jacket with the running shoes to the job interview, well, that's something else, right?
It's all in how you phrase it.
Right.
How do you define success? What does that word mean to you, Mona?
Oh, there's so many definitions to that. So for me, it's about living your truth. When you're comfortable in your skin, doing what you know you should be at the time, that's success. But what people, I guess, what they forget or what they don't realize is that a lifetime has seasons. So even though somebody is striving to attain what their definition of success is, and they don't feel like they're being, or that they're successful, they're just they just have to be in the right season for it to come, and they're where they need to be at the time because they're learning or, getting there.
Timing is key.
But not just timing, but putting in the time.
Mm-hmm. Oh, for sure. You have to put in the work. Absolutely. The time. Yeah. I would have to agree with that. What are some of the challenges you faced early on as a writer, and how did you overcome them?
Self-doubt, for sure. Not knowing if I was good enough or ever going to be good enough. Impatience. Mm-hmm. And it goes back to your other question about seasons.
Yeah.
It's really, you have to understand that even though you have a vision of success and you're not there yet, you're still, again, where you need to be. And also you have to remember that even the people that you admire, they were once beginners, or they were once on, at the same point in the journey that you are now.
Right. That's a very hard mindset to get into, though, for sure.
Well, because we're hard on ourselves.
Yes, we are. Well, we're our own worst critics. And I think I always say that with competition and all of this stuff, I think that, yes, we have to deal with external noise from naysayers and haters and all of those people, but I think what's worse is the self-limiting belief. That's even worse than that, than the excess noise from other people.
Yes, because it comes from inside.
What was a turning point in your life, and how did that affect you?
A turning point in my life, I'm going to say it's when I learned that I could put a muzzle on the hamster. So when you stop listening to that voice of self-doubt, you become more aware of who you are and why you do things, and you listen more to, to your own self than you do to what everybody else is saying. So I guess it's about being self-assured.
Was there a light bulb moment for you with that? Like, was there something that triggered that just woke you up? It's like, holy shit.
A specific moment? No, I'm going to say, I'm going to call myself a slow learner. There was probably 10,000 moments. And then one day was just like, oh yeah, I guess, yeah. Well, this is why I'm, whatever it is, putting on my left shoe instead of my right shoe first.
What makes you feel inspired or like your best self?
Inspired. I guess I'm going to have to bring it back to writing. So when I'm engaging with readers, or when I hear that something I wrote touched someone, that makes me feel like I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing.
That's your purpose.
Yeah. I mean, we can't all be Mother Teresa, but we can share the small pieces of ourselves that inspire others, right? So for me, it just happens to be writing.
That's got to feel incredible when you have someone reach out to you and say, Mona, what you wrote in this passage or this book or this chapter, just it completely resonated with me and I love it. It changed my life. Or that's got to be one of the most incredible feelings in the world.
It is. Yes, it is. It's right up there with sex.
All right, there you go. I'd even venture to say it's probably better.
Yeah, I guess depending what you're doing at the moment when someone asks you that question. But
I don't know. I know for me as a photographer, before I started photographing people, when I was creating art and someone would buy my piece of art, just the thought of someone hanging something that I created solely myself on their wall, there is no, that feeling is just, wow, I had to pinch myself. The first piece I ever sold and thought, this person's going to put this on their walls. That was just like no other.
And we really are here for other people, right?
Yeah.
So that's a piece of that for sure. Absolutely.
Incredible. It was an incredible feeling. And I still, even to this day, when I sell a piece, it's like, holy shit, I'm still blown away to think that person is hanging something I created on their wall to admire and for other people to see. That's just, to me, that's mind blowing.
Yeah, that's nice. That's very nice. Oh, you know what you're here for.
Oh, I do. Yes. This podcast and my photography for helping women. And I know what I'm here for. I've found my mission in the last 9 months to a year. I believe I've found my purpose.
Good for you.
Not a lot of people can say they have, so it's an amazing feeling, that's for sure.
Yeah. Yeah.
What would you say is one of your favorite quotes?
Oh, that's an easy one. Charlie Chaplin's, "Nothing is permanent in this wicked world, not even our troubles."
I love that. I've never heard that quote before. That's amazing.
Yeah.
Beautiful. What does the word empowerment mean to you, Mona?
Empowerment is a knowing. It's self-confidence. And we can't have it or feel it all the time, though, because if we did, then we wouldn't be growing. So while it's a sense of soaring, it's also a sense of knowing when we have to pause.
Okay. What would you say is one of the best pieces of advice you've ever received?
Oh, this is a hard one. So I have 3 really wise parents. I say 3 because my father remarried.
Okay.
And all 3 of them are so wise and have their own experiences to share and whatever. And all of them in their own way have told me that I'm stubborn. So, like don't touch the stove. And of course you have to go and touch the stove because whatever. But there's a smart stubborn and there's a not so smart stubborn. And I think there's a difference between the two. So it's been advice to me over the years, but I've also come to terms with it.
Okay, we're going to do a little rapid fire question section here. So 1, 2, 3, 4-word answers for a few questions here. Okay. How would you describe yourself in 1 word?
Curious.
What's the first thing you think when I say the word future?
It begins today.
Which musical instrument have you always wanted to learn how to play?
The guitar.
What's the first thing you do when you wake up?
Take a breath of gratitude. I do this every single day before I even open my eyes.
Amazing.
Yeah.
What's your favorite stress-reducing activity?
Wine.
That's a good one. If you could teach the world one thing, what would it be?
Oh, that makes me think of the Coca-Cola commercial. Remember?
Yeah.
I'd like
teach the world to sing.
Yeah, exactly. I think that would be it because singing is about who cares if I can do it or not. It's a freedom, right?
Yeah.
So I think it would be that.
Okay.
Even though I can't sing, I would teach people if I could to learn how to let themselves sing.
Okay. What's one thing you want but cannot buy with money?
I'm going to say youth.
All right.
I used to have an acting coach that would say youth is wasted on the young. And just think of what we could accomplish if we could combine the energy and stamina of a 20-year-old with the knowledge and life experiences that we have now.
Mm-hmm. Oh, for sure. You'd be unstoppable.
Yeah, absolutely. And think of how much money we'd save if we didn't have to go get our roots done every 6 weeks.
There you go. If I had an extra hour a day, I would
read more.
Entrepreneur life is?
It's like owning rope. You have to know when to rein yourself in from the freedom. If you have too much of it, you can hang yourself.
Very interesting analogy. Mom life is?
It's all the contradictions. It's gratifying. It's frustrating. It's invigorating. It's draining. It's wanting your kids to hurry up and grow up. And then it's wishing they were still young and still yours. It's just
so very true.
Yep.
The last book or podcast I listened to or read was?
Dress Your Kids in Corduroy or Denim. David Sedaris.
Okay. My favorite way to unwind is?
Wine.
I'm noticing a theme here, a common thread. All right. That's the end of the rapid fire. Who in your life has had the biggest impact on you and why?
I'm going to say right now it's my someone. He's my rock. He's patient. He's a planner. He's everything I'm not. He's my safe zone.
Okay. If you came with a warning label, what would yours say?
Do not dry clean.
Explain that one.
I just find that clothes that you have to dry clean, you're going to wear them once and then they get stuck in your closet. I'd rather be consumed than stuck in a closet.
Very interesting. Wow. You are a wise soul.
It took me years to get this way.
If you had a theme song that played every time you walked in a room, what song would that be?
Da, 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 da. Rocky.
All right. We'll go with that. If you could sit down and have a 1-hour conversation with anyone in the world, alive or dead, who would it be and why?
Oh, that's easy. My brother. He passed away when he was 39, so it'll be 14 years this year.
I'm sorry.
No, it's all good. And we were opposites. He was organized and deliberate. I was scattered and juggling, surviving. I would love to be able to sit with him now and say, hey, look at where I am now, 1 and 2. What have you been doing? What's it like up there?
What's the most recent investment you've made in yourself?
Oh, a board game.
Okay. What board game?
It's called the Zombie Teens, I think. Zombie Teens. Somebody I danced with, she bought it, and she was saying how her and her family play it all the time. And my son, who lives with me, he's in university. He spends a lot of time in his room studying. So I thought, maybe I'll get him out to play this with me. So that's not really an investment in myself, but it's an investment in I don't know, peace of mind.
Yeah.
What I mean, I guess.
Which is yourself.
Yeah.
When it comes down to it, it is for yourself, for sure. What do you think the most common reason for people failing or giving up is?
I think they don't have clarity in what they really want, and then they don't own it. They don't believe that they can achieve it. So you need to believe in yourself. You need to have vision, and if you don't have that, you're not going anywhere.
Shit out of luck.
Yeah, you're on a treadmill.
Yeah.
Right?
Or a hamster wheel.
Yeah.
If you could go back and give your younger self one piece of advice, Mona, what would that piece of advice be?
Stop talking. Have a cookie.
Have a cookie even.
Yeah, I don't know. I guess I worried a lot. I had a lot on my shoulders, especially when I was a young single mom. I'd say, you've got this. You've got this.
Stop talking and have a glass of wine.
Yeah. I didn't drink back then. That was my problem.
There you go. See? There's the piece of advice. Start drinking.
Yeah. Not have a cookie. Have a glass of wine.
Yeah. Lastly, Mona, if you were to deliver your last 30-second speech to the world, what would that last 30 seconds sound like?
Oh, I say this often. The saddest thing in the world is forgotten potential. Remember who you are and what lights you up. There's only one thing, or one you, I should say. And if you're not living with purpose and passion, you're not only depriving yourself, you're depriving the rest of us.
That is amazing. So profound. I love that. Beautiful. Mona, thank you so much for taking the time to be here and share a bit about your story and your journey with us, and for being part of the Empowerography community. I appreciate you, and it's amazing. Just keep on writing, keep putting out the amazing content, and good luck with your serial killer book. And of course, I mean, the biggest thing is good luck with your Superwoman book launch on International Women's Day. I wish you all the success with that. I hope that it just blows up and explodes. It's something that's needed.
I think so too. And thank you for having me. I thank you for the work that you do. You're, putting yourself out there to empower women, which is awesome.
Oh, thank you.
Not just because you're a man, but because you're a man.
Well, thank you. I truly appreciate that, Mona. Once again, my name is Brad Walsh, host of your Empowerography Podcast. My guest today has been Mona Andrei. She is an author, communication specialist, and speaker based in Montreal. Thank you so much, Mona. I hope you have an amazing rest of the day.
I already am, and thank you. You too.
Thank you very much for listening to this podcast. If you haven't yet, please be sure to subscribe, rate, review, and share with all your friends. You can find me at visuphoria.ca and follow me on Instagram at Empowerography Podcast and on Facebook at Empowerography. Please join me next time for another inspirational story from yet another amazing woman.